Right now, somewhere in this world, someone is giving up on their dreams. They're closing the book on their potential, shutting down their heart's deepest desires and accepting a life of quiet desperation. And you know, it's truly heartbreaking. They're doing it because they believe a lie they've been telling themselves for so long that it's become their truth. Let me ask you something deeply personal. When was the last time you looked in the mirror and truly saw yourself? Not the mask you wear for others, not the role you play in your family or at work, but the real you, the one who dreams, who yearns, who knows deep down that there's more to life than what you're currently living. What you're about to hear might challenge everything you believe about yourself. It might make you uncomfortable, and that's exactly where transformation begins. The most profound changes in our lives often start with a moment of discomfort, a moment when we're forced to confront the gap between who we are and who we could be. Every morning, millions of people wake up feeling stuck. They drag themselves through their days, wondering why they can't seem to break free from patterns that no longer serve them. They look at others living their dreams and think, they must have something I don't. But here's the truth that might shake you to your core. The only difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who don't isn't talent, circumstances, or luck. It's their inner programming. Your mind is like a garden, and your thoughts are the seeds you plant in it. Every single day you're planting seeds, some consciously, most unconsciously. The quality of your life today is a direct result of the seeds you planted yesterday, last month, last year. Some of you have been planting weeds without even realizing it, and then wondering why your garden isn't blooming with flowers. Think about this. How many times have you caught yourself saying, I'm not good enough, I can't do it, or that's just not possible for someone like me? Each of these thoughts is a seed, and each seed grows into a reality. The most powerful strategy to reprogram your mind begins with understanding this fundamental truth. Your thoughts are not just passive observations. They are active creators of your reality. Let me share something that might surprise you. Research has shown that the human brain processes about 60,000 thoughts per day. Of those thoughts, 95 are exactly the same as the day before. And here's the kicker, 80 of those thoughts are, we're literally programming ourselves for failure day after day without even realizing it. But here's where it gets interesting. Your brain can't tell the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined. When you think a thought repeatedly, your brain creates neural pathways like well-worn paths in a forest. The more you think a thought, the stronger that pathway becomes. This is why breaking old habits feels so difficult. You're literally fighting against established neural highways in your brain. The good news? These pathways aren't set in stone. Your brain has an extraordinary ability called neuroplasticity. It can create new pathways at any age, at any time. The key is to understand that every thought you think is either strengthening an old pathway or creating a new one. Have you ever bought a new car and suddenly started seeing that same model everywhere? Did all those cars suddenly appear on the road? Of course not. They were always there, but your brain wasn't programmed to notice them. This simple example shows how powerful your mental programming is in shaping your current reality. Your job, your relationships, your health, your wealth is all a result of your programming. If you're not living the life you desire, it's because your current programming is perfectly aligned to create exactly what you're experiencing right. The good news? You can change that programming. The first step in reprogramming your mind is becoming aware of your current programming. Start paying attention to your self-talk. What stories do you tell yourself about money, about love, about success, about what's possible for you? These stories aren't facts. They're programs running in your mental computer. About your biggest dream, the one that makes your heart race when you allow yourself to consider it. Now, pay attention to the immediate thoughts that follow. Are they supportive thoughts, like I can figure out how to make this happen? Or limiting thoughts, like that's impossible, or who am I to want that? Those immediate reactions are your current programming speaking. They're not the truth. They're just familiar neural pathways that your brain has gotten comfortable traveling, but comfort never led to transformation. Growth happens at the edges of your comfort zone, in the space where your current programming meets new possibilities. The most dangerous prison is the one where you can't see the bars. Many of you are living in such a prison built by thoughts you inherited from others, experiences you misinterpreted, and beliefs you accepted without questioning. The key to breaking free isn't in fighting these thoughts head on. The key is in understanding that you have the power to choose new thoughts, to plant new seeds, to create new pathways. Your mind is like a river. It flows in the direction of least resistance. If you've spent years thinking limiting thoughts, those thoughts have created deep channels that your mental energy naturally flows through to change the flow. You need to consciously direct your thoughts in new directions, creating new channels for your mental energy to flow through. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to bounce back from setbacks while others stay stuck? Why some people can maintain unwavering faith in their dreams while others give up at the first sign of difficulty? The difference lies in their mental programming, specifically in how they process and respond to life's experiences. Your mind is constantly recording everything that happens to you. But here's the crucial part. It's not the experiences themselves that shape your life, but the meaning you assign to those experiences. Two people can face the exact same situation and draw completely different conclusions from it. One person fails at a business venture and decides, I'm not cut out for this. Another fails and thinks, what can I learn from this? How can I do better next time? The experiences are identical, but the programming they create is vastly different. This is why it's not what happens to you that determines your destiny. It's how you interpret what happens to you. And the beautiful truth is, you have the power to choose your interpretations. Let's do a simple exercise right now. Think about a recent setback in your life. But now, instead of focusing on what went wrong, ask yourself, what if this happened for me? Not to me. What if this setback is actually setting me up for something better? Feel how your energy shifts with just this simple reframe. That's the power of conscious reprogramming. Your brain is like a search engine. It will find evidence for whatever you program it to look for. If you believe life is hard, your brain will diligently gather evidence to support that belief. If you believe opportunities are everywhere, your brain will spot opportunities that others miss. This isn't positive thinking. This is the science of how your neural pathways operate. Most people live their entire lives never realizing that their thoughts are choices. They accept whatever thoughts pop into their heads as if they were facts written in stone. But thoughts are not facts. They're suggestions, possibilities, interpretations, and you have the power to accept or reject them. Think about this. Every great achievement in human history started as a thought that contradicted the existing reality. Every invention, every breakthrough, every transformation began with someone choosing to think differently from the prevailing wisdom of their time. They chose to program their minds with possibilities instead of limitations. The most powerful strategy to reprogram your mind involves understanding that your thoughts create feelings, your feelings drive your actions, and your actions determine your results. This means that if you want to change your results, you need to start by changing your thoughts, but not through force or struggle, through conscious choice and persistent practice. Your current life is a perfect reflection of your current programming. If you're not satisfied with some aspect of your life, the solution isn't to fight harder or push more. It's to examine and update the programming that created those results. Consider how a thermostat works. It's programmed to maintain a certain temperature. No matter how much you want the room to be warmer, if the thermostat is set to 70 degrees, it will always bring the temperature back to 70. Your mental programming works the same way. If you're programmed for a certain level of success, happiness, or abundance, that's where your life will automatically return, regardless of temporary changes. This is why lottery winners often end up broke again, and why people who lose weight through strict dieting usually regain it. Their internal programming hasn't changed, so their external results eventually revert to match their internal set. Real. Lasting change requires reprogramming at the deepest level. Let me share a powerful truth with you. Every thought you think is either moving you toward your dreams or away from them. There is no neutral thinking. Every time you tell yourself, I can't, you're programming your brain to prove you right. Every time you say, I'm not ready, you're instructing your brain to find evidence of your unreadiness. Okay, so liberating parts. You can change these patterns, you can consciously choose thoughts that empower you instead of limit you, not through forced positive thinking, but through deliberate, conscious choice based on what you want to create in your life. The key is to understand that your brain believes what you tell it repeatedly. If you consistently tell yourself you're not good enough, your brain will accept that as truth and filter all your experiences through that lens. But if you consistently tell yourself you're capable of growth and learning, your brain will look for ways to prove that true instead. Think about how a computer works. When you want to change its functionality, you don't argue with the current programming, you simply install new software. Your mind works similarly. Instead of fighting against negative thoughts, focus on installing new, empowering thoughts through consistent repetition and emotional engagement. This is where most people go wrong in their attempts at personal transformation. They try to fight against their current programming, which only strengthens it. Remember, what you resist persists. The key is not to fight the old, but to build the new. Focus your energy on creating new neural pathways rather than battling the old ones. Your brain is always looking for answers to the questions you ask it. If you ask, "Why can't I succeed?" your brain will dutifully provide all the reasons why success is impossible for you. But if you ask, "How can I succeed?" your brain will begin searching for solutions and possibilities instead. Let's delve deeper into something that's rarely discussed in conversations about personal transformation. Every single day, your subconscious mind is processing millions of bits of information, but you're only consciously aware of a tiny fraction of it. This hidden processing is constantly reinforcing your existing programming, whether that programming serves you or not. Think of your mind like an iceberg. The conscious thoughts you're aware of are just the tip. They represent only about 5% of your mental activity. The other 95% happens below the surface in your subconscious mind. This is where your true programming resides. And this is where real transformation must occur. When you understand this, you realize why simply trying to think positive thoughts isn't enough. It's like trying to steer an iceberg by pushing on its tip. To create lasting change, you need to work with the whole iceberg. Both is a profound truth that might change everything for you. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined. This is why professional athletes use visualization. Their brains record the mental practice as if it were physical practice. You can use this same principle to reprogram your mind for success in any area of your life, but there's something even more powerful at work here. Your subconscious mind is always listening to your inner dialogue, and it takes everything literally. When you say, "This is killing me," or "I'm sick and tired," your subconscious accepts these statements as commands and begins creating corresponding physical and emotional responses in your body. How often do you use phrases like "I'm trying," or "I hope," or "I'll do my best"? These seemingly innocent phrases are actually programming your subconscious for failure. Trying implies the possibility of failure. Hoping suggests doubt. Doing your best leaves room for falling short. Your subconscious mind responds to precision, not vagueness. This is why the language you use both internally and externally is crucial to reprogramming your mind. Instead of saying "I'll try," say "I will." Instead of "I hope," say "I choose." Instead of "I should," say "I must." These small changes in language create massive changes in your subconscious programming. Let me share something that might surprise. Your subconscious mind processes negatives poorly. When you tell yourself "don't forget," your mind focuses on forget. When you think "I don't want to be poor," your mind focuses on poor. This is why it's crucial to frame your desires in positive terms. Instead of focusing on what you don't want, focus on what you do want. Your current programming was created through repetition and emotional intensity. Every time you had a strong emotional experience, your subconscious mind recorded it and created a program based on it. If you failed at something and felt intense shame or embarrassment, your subconscious created a program to avoid similar situations in the future. This was meant to protect you, but now it might be holding you back. The good news is that you can use this same process, repetition and emotional intensity, to create new programming. But here's the key. The new programming must be more compelling than the old. Your subconscious mind will always choose what it believes will keep you safe and secure, even if that means staying stuck in familiar patterns. Think about this. Every morning when you wake up, your subconscious mind begins running its familiar programs. These programs determine how you interpret events, what you notice in your environment, what opportunities you see or miss, and how you respond to change. If these programs aren't serving you, it's time to install new ones. The process of reprogramming your mind requires 3 key elements: awareness, choice, and persistence. First, you must become aware of your current programming, the thoughts, beliefs, and patterns that are creating your current results. Second, you must consciously choose new programming that aligns with your desired outcomes. Third, you must persistently reinforce this new programming until it becomes your new normal. Here's a powerful truth. Your mind will believe whatever you tell it with conviction and repetition. The quality of your life is directly related to the quality of the conversations you have with yourself. Every thought is either an investment in your growth or a payment toward your limitation. Consider how a child learns to walk. They don't try once, fall, and decide walking isn't for them. They don't create a program of "I can't walk" after their first failure. Instead, they keep trying, adjusting, learning, and eventually succeeding. This is the natural programming of growth and persistence that we all start with, somewhere along the way. Many of us installed programs of limitation instead. But here's what's fascinating. Just as you can learn limiting beliefs, you can unlearn them. Just as you install programs of limitation, you can install programs of possibility. Your brain's neuroplasticity means you can create new neural pathways at any age, at any stage of life. The key is to understand that your current programming isn't your fault, but it is your responsibility. You didn't consciously choose most of your current programming. It was installed through your experiences, your environment, and the people around you. But now that you're aware of it, you have the power and the responsibility to choose new programs. Think of it this way. Every thought you think is either strengthening your current programming or creating new programming. Every word you speak is either reinforcing old patterns or building new ones. Every action you take is either deepening existing neural pathways or carving new ones. The most profound transformation happens when you understand this vital truth. Your mind is not just a recording device of your past, it's the creator of your future. Every moment of every day, you're either using your mind's power to move toward your dreams or allowing it to keep you trapped in old patterns. Let me share something that might fundamentally shift your perspective. Most people spend their lives reacting to circumstances, letting their environment dictate their thoughts and feelings. But what if I told you that this is exactly backward? What if you understood that your thoughts and feelings are creating your environment, not the other way around? Every great achievement, every breakthrough, every moment of human excellence started with a thought that defied current reality. The airplane wasn't invented by people who accepted the reality that humans couldn't fly. The internet wasn't created by people who believed long-distance communication was impossible. Every advancement in human history began with someone who dared to think beyond their current programming. Your brain has an extraordinary feature called the reticular activating system, RES. This system acts like a filter, deciding what information from your environment gets through to your conscious awareness. Your RES is programmed by your beliefs and expectations. When you truly understand this, you realize that what you see in your life isn't what's there. It's what your programming allows you to see. Consider how this plays out in daily life. Two people can face the same situation. Let's say a job loss. One person's programming leads them to see it as a devastating setback, while another's programming allows them to see it as an opportunity for a fresh start. Same external circumstance, completely different experience based solely on mental programming. This is why reprogramming your mind isn't just about positive thinking. It's about fundamentally shifting how you process and interpret reality. It's about installing new programs that serve your growth rather than protect your limitations. There's a powerful truth that might shake you. Every limitation you believe you have is learned. Every "I can't" is programmed. Every "it's not possible" is installed. And just as these limitations were learned, just as these programs were installed, they can be uninstalled. They try to change their programming while still operating from their old programming. It's like trying to install new software while running the old software. The key is to understand that change happens in layers, like peeling an onion. Each layer of new programming creates the foundation for the next layer. Think about how pearl is formed. An oyster doesn't reject the irritating grain of sand that gets inside its shell. Instead, it begins coating that grain of sand with layer after layer of nacre, eventually creating something beautiful and valuable. Similarly, you can take your challenges, your setbacks, your grains of sand, and coat them with new layers of understanding, new layers of programming, until they become pearls of wisdom and growth. Your current programming was created through repetition, emotion, and belief. Your new programming must be installed the same way. This means consciously choosing thoughts that support your growth, repeatedly focusing on what you want to create, and emotionally connecting with your desired outcomes until they feel more real than your current reality. There's a profound truth about reprogramming. Your mind doesn't distinguish between what's realistic and what's unrealistic. These are concepts created by your current programming. What's realistic is simply what matches your current programming. What's unrealistic is what contradicts it. But reality itself has no such limitations. Every major breakthrough in human history was unrealistic until it happened. Every innovation was impossible until it was achieved. Every transformation was unlikely until it was completed. The only difference between possibility and impossibility is the programming you choose to accept. The most powerful strategy for reprogramming your mind involves understanding that your thoughts are not just passive observers of reality. They are active creators of reality. Every thought you think sends signals to every cell in your body. Every belief you hold shapes how your genes express themselves. Every program you run determines what you'll notice, what you'll attempt, and what you'll achieve. But here's where it gets really interesting. Your new programming doesn't just affect you. It affects everyone around you. When you change your programming, you change how you show up in the world. When you change how you show up in the world, you change how the world responds to you. This creates a positive feedback loop that reinforces your new programming. Think about water for a moment. Water can exist as a solid, liquid, or gas, same substance, different states. Similarly, your potential exists in multiple states. Your current programming might have you experiencing only one state, but all other states are equally possible. The only difference is the conditions, the programming you choose to create. As we move toward concluding this journey together, I want to share something vital. The most powerful programming you can install is the understanding that you are not your programming. You are the programmer. You are not your thoughts. You are the thinker. You are not your beliefs. You are the believer. This distinction changes everything. Your mind is like a garden, and your thoughts are the seeds. But you are the gardener. You get to choose what seeds to plant, what plants to water, what weeds to pull. Every moment of every day, you're making these choices, whether consciously or unconsciously. The key to transformation is making these choices conscious. Every great journey begins with a single step, but it's the direction of that step that determines where you'll end up. Today, in this moment, you have the opportunity to choose a new direction, not through force, not through struggle, but through conscious choice and persistent practice. The program you've been running might have served you in the past, might have protected you, might have helped you survive. Honor it for that. But now it's time to install new programming that will help you thrive, not just survive. It's time to create programs of possibility, not limitation. Programs of growth, not protection. Programs of transformation, not stagnation. As we conclude this powerful journey together, I want to leave you with this final truth. The most powerful program you can install is the understanding that you are the programmer of your own life. Every thought you think, every word you speak, every action you take is either strengthening your old programming or creating new programming. The choice is yours, and it's a choice you make moment by moment, day by day. Your transformation begins now, not with a huge leap, but with a simple choice. Choose thoughts that serve your growth. Choose words that support your dreams. Choose actions that align with your highest potential. And most importantly, choose to remember that you are not bound by your past programming. You are empowered by your ability to create new programming. The future you dream of isn't waiting to happen to you. It's waiting to be created by you. Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess for this creation. Use it wisely. Use it consciously. Use it persistently. And watch as your reality transforms to match your new programming. The power to reprogram your mind has always been yours. The question is, what will you do with this power now that you're fully aware of it? The choice is yours. The time is now. The transformation begins with your next thought. Thank you for sharing this journey of discovery and transformation. May your new programming serve your highest good and inspire others to discover their own power to transform their lives, one thought at a time. You are not just the story you've been telling yourself. You are the storyteller. And the most powerful story you can tell is the story of your own transformation. Let that story begin now.